we are beginning with our first keynote address on navigating institutional effectiveness by Sivakumar Veerappan, Chief Executive Officer, Anubavam Technologies. Sir, please come on the stage.
Thank you. Thank you. My gratitude goes to Elets. The team has done a phenomenal job. So let's give them a big round of applause. It's my pleasure and honor to stand in front of all the education leaders because I believe you are the one shaping the future India. So I thank you for listening to me. I welcome all the fellow speakers, all the participants, and thank you, Hilton, for providing us such a fantastic facility. Today, I want to talk to you something that you know already, but what we have been seeing around the world is what we like to share. I'm not trying to teach you anything. It's a humble submission, humble observation of the international education sector. I've seen some of the institutions in India already started doing it, but I think there is a big room for us to improve and also, create an ecosystem that is bulletproof, right? What is institutional effectiveness? As you can see in this diagram, there are some key components that we have observed that institutions, big universities who have got an international focus, who have got a better institutional research as one of their main focus. Many institutions focus a lot on teaching. Some institutions focus only on research. Some of the established institutions focus on both, right? But when you talk about institutional effectiveness, which means it's a uniformed, united, and integrated institution, meaning that often I hear the big vice chancellors, presidents, principals, they say, it's not easy for me to change things quickly or make someone perform better. It is difficult for me to achieve the student success the way we like. So it's a lot of difficulties, a lot of challenges, and things like pandemic, things like regulations. The modern education is rapidly changing. The student expectation is also extremely high now. Sometimes we don't know what to do, right? I mean, there is situations that we are in a situation that we need a better strategy, right? So for this institutional effectiveness, these are the key components. I would take the retention part. The retention, when we say retention, we are talking about student retention. We are talking about faculty retention as well, right? What is the thing that we do in student success? What are the parameters we have seen other institutions do? We've seen they at least keep 3 or 4, 5 important things. Like grading is the obvious thing that we know whether the student is going to make it or break it, right? But then there are other things. So if you have a system, say you have an online LMS system, can you analyze their behavior there? Can you see how effectively they are using it? And that's one parameter. Can you see their student participation in the classrooms, in other events? See whether you have a report of the attendance that is tracking the key criteria there. If they fall short, then you have an alert system. Have we created an advising council? Have we created a mentor-mentee relationship? Can this be automated? Can students have a quicker access to the advisors whenever they have questions, right? These are all the retention part for the student because not only you are giving the best experience for them, but also you're making them feel special, right? There is somebody is helping them, somebody is monitoring. Anytime there is somebody monitoring us, somebody is advising us, that is a moral obligation for us to perform better, right? Imagine we didn't have grading systems, right? We would not study. A lot of us would not have studied better in the past. Now the students are not studying to score high. They are studying to become somebody. Our grandparents worked for money, survival. We worked for quality of life. Now the students are not ready for any of these things. They want the life the way they like it. So as faculties, as teachers, we have a tremendous task, a challenging task. What do I do? They already know all the things in the book. Some of the students would go on YouTube, they can learn everything, right? So in that perspective, we are depending on the systems, softwares, data, analytics, reports, dashboards to guide us. What is that we can do? Because this is so important, and it's also difficult to do it manually, which is the traditional and current way of handling in many places. I can see the clock is ticking here, so I have a few more minutes. And one other important aspect is in the retention is faculty retention, how you evaluate their performance by giving them, if you look at the strategic plan, that is the next one here. I have not seen many institutions in India doing strategic plan, right? Strategic plan is something that you do it every 3 years, every 5 years. You can do it per program, by department, or you can have one integrated strategic plan where you have focuses, where you have, you could say, I have a focus for student success. I have a focus for my faculty performance. I have a focus for quality. So you could have 3 to 4 to 5. You cannot have many because it becomes very difficult to achieve. And then create objectives under each of this focus, right? And then you go on and assigning this to people that you have. Like you have your IQAC, quality council, there is people, there are criteria owners and things like that. Same way, strategic plan also becomes when you want to grow as an integrated institution, successful institution, that becomes very, very important, playing a role. And then we have some of the institutions are luxurious enough to change their programs, review their programs, work with the industry to see what is the current trends and current analysis and update the programs, right? But then again, how do we know the programs are working or not working? How do we know the courses that we offer is effective or not effective? Because we're talking about institutional effectiveness. Every element is important. Is our courses effective? Is our policies are effective? The program that we offer is effective? And on the whole, the institution becomes effective, right? When the institution becomes effective, we are changing the society. The society becomes very effective because anything you do becomes very valuable, right? When the society becomes, you are contributing big time to the country. So that is a tremendous responsibility we all have. And congratulations, we just become the 5th largest economy. And that's not possible without institutions that without leaders like you. So I would like to congratulate you for creating amazing professionals that contributed the success. It's a moment for us to be celebrating, right? People are thinking, should I clap for this or not? Of course, it deserves a clap. So this is not just about making the institution run. It is about creating. Student is coming with a lot of dream, a lot of hope. Faculties are also same, because even in the US, even in other countries that I have seen, there is higher focus on the students, but then the same focus is not on the faculties, right? So I would like to see the world where we put a lot of effort, a lot of energy to make the faculties effective, improved faculties perform, because I think they need directions. I think they need guidelines. I think if the institution, managements, the councils, the governments, they're trying everything, they're doing their best, but I think there can be a structured process, uniformed process will make it more effective, right? Everybody is trying to invent everything. So if you look at, of course, the assessment, you all are doing a fantastic job. Our accreditations are giving us proper guidelines, so it's OBE based or competency based and things like that. We also have a lot of quality initiatives. So this is the framework for strategic. This is the framework for institutional. If you can get all these elements correct, then we become very effective, right? And that's the point I like to drive. We started our company called Anubavam about 16 years ago, and we have built many solutions. We've worked with Fortune 100 companies. We've worked more than 20 plus countries. I've traveled across the world, met different leaders, built many solutions like insurance solutions. You name it, we have done it. There are some moments that when I came back to India, I visited many universities. I've been a chief guest, and I've been someone who's doing different things, right? What actually I realized is that we, not only in India, that I had the same experience outside as well. What I realized, there is no integrated system. There is no one system that gives them all the data. The vice chancellors, the leaders are struggling to find, who is the top guy, who's the topmost faculty, who's the faculty liked the most, what courses are performing better, and how many people we placed in this company, that company. These data, they need dependency. So I decided that, listen, we have built, we made money, and we are happy as a company. Can we do something more vision-driven? Because the vision is important for a leader, right? There was a vision of the Singapore leader, Barron learned become Singapore today, the leading economy in Asia, right? So the leadership is important. So leadership is defined by the vision they have. Then you put different mission statements. How do you achieve those vision? There comes the strategic plan and objectives to really going towards that vision. So if you have a vision statement, which is very powerful, if you can educate your stakeholders like deans, faculties, and your staff, including the students, we want to be the best law college for this region, or we want to produce 1,000 aeronautical engineer with this kind of a quality, whatever could be your vision. And then followed by set of mission statements. Create value statements for organizations. That defines who we are, right? The values, I have not seen many organizations creating value statements. Even in corporates, the value statements are there in websites, but that's not promoted, that is not celebrated. If we say we want the faculty to be this quality, but can we ask a question, are we acknowledging that they are doing exactly the same thing that you want them to do? Are you facilitating them? Are you acknowledging them? Are you giving awards for that, recognition for that? These are the questions some of you may have to ask, and many of you are doing a fantastic job on that, I know. I'm observing many of the institutions that are here, very, very happy to see your progress. And with that, I think I will conclude because my screen is flashing now. So thank you, best wishes for the day and the rest of the day. I like to see all these institutions grow into institutions of eminence and create more research, invent new things, create amazing leaders for our country. Best wishes. Jai Hind.
May I now request Dr. Indu Rao, Director, Vellore Institute of Technology, to please come on the stage and felicitate. A big round of applause.